So I kinda am losing my voice, so I'm sorry if it's not the best quality of video, but I'm gonna go ahead and start this off by saying that this is not gonna be the video for everyone, because it is religious in a way, so if you don't want to watch it, I completely get it, but I will be showing off and kind of reading my new Bible that I got a couple days ago. So this is her, or it. I kind of wanted to do this for multiple reasons, but I think it makes some pretty nice noises. But yeah, this is the Student Life Application Study Bible. It's in rustic brown and it's leather-like. And then this is what it looks like when you open it up. Oh, sorry. I try to keep it in its little case because I don't want it to get chewed on by my puppy. And yeah, so this is what it looks like out of the thing. I don't know if you can tell. Sorry, I'm also not used to this cord, but I'm trying out a different mic setting. Let me go ahead and get to where I was at. I believe I am in Genesis. Hold on. I have my little marker. And I like the noises that the pages make. This is like a study Bible for people who are just getting into the Bible. I'm trying to like grow in faith a little bit, so I tried to read the King James Version and it didn't go over well because I couldn't really understand it. And I can read pretty good, so I think it's just because I didn't understand all the people. Because the Old Testament can be really confusing. I'm not trying to flip through one page at a time, I promise. I'm also going to go ahead and say that this is probably going to be a long video, and if you don't want to hear it, I completely understand. But yeah, I'm just going to make it and post it because I think some people might like it. And if you're a person who wants to get into reading the Bible, then you can kind of follow along. So, this is Genesis 22. It is page 28 of this book. I don't know if it's the same on every Bible because this has so much more stuff. And it's a bigger print. Well, not bigger, but... Sometime later, God tested Abraham's faith. "Abraham," God called. "Yes," he replied, "here I am." "Take your son, your only son, yes, Isaac, whom you love so much, and go to the land of Moriah. Go and sacrifice him as a burnt offering on one of the mountains, which I will show you." The next morning, Abraham got up early. He saddled his donkey and took 2 of his servants with him, along with his son Isaac. Then he chopped wood for a fire for a burnt offering, and set out for the place God had told him about. On the 3rd day of their journey, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. "Stay here with the donkey," Abraham told the servants. "The boy and I will travel a little farther. We will worship there, and then we will come right back." So Abraham placed the wood for the burnt offering on Isaac's shoulders. Sorry, I had to yawn. While he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the 2 of them walked on together, Isaac turned to Abraham and said, "Father?" "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "We have the fire and the wood," the boy said, "but where is the sheep for the burnt offering?" "God will provide a sheep for the burnt offering, my son," Abraham answered, and they both walked on together. When they arrived at the place where God had told him to go, Abraham built an altar and arranged the wood on it. Then he tied his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. And Abraham picked up the knife to kill his son as a sacrifice. At that moment, the angel of the Lord called to him from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham." "Yes," Abraham replied, "here I am." "Don't lay a hand on the boy," the angel said. "Do not hurt him in any way, for now I know that you truly fear God. You've not withheld from me even your son, your only son." Then Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught by its horns in a thicket. So he took the ram and sacrificed as a burnt offering in place of his son. Abraham named the place Yahweh Yireh. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce a lot of this, which means the Lord will provide. To this day, people still use that name as a proverb. On the mountain of the Lord it will be provided. Then the angel of the Lord called again to Abraham from heaven. "This is what the Lord says, because you have obeyed me and have not withheld even your son, your only son. I swear by my own name that I will certainly bless you. I will multiply your descendants beyond number, like the stars in the sky and the sand of the seashore. Your descendants will conquer the cities of their enemies, and through your descendants all the nations of the earth will be blessed, because you have obeyed me." Then they returned to the servants and traveled back to Beersheba, where Abraham continued to live. Soon after this, Abraham heard that Milcah, his brother Nahor's wife, had borne Nahor 8 sons. The oldest was named Uz, the next oldest was Buz, followed by Kemuel, the ancestor of the Arameans, Kesed, Hazo, Pildash, Jodlep, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. In addition to these 8 sons from Milcah, Nahor, like I said, I can't pronounce this, I have too much of an accent. Nahor had 4 other children from his concubine Reumah. Their names were Teba, Gaham, Tahash, and Micah. Okay, so that was Genesis 22. Genesis 23. It says the burial of Sarah is what this is. Give me 1 second, I'll go ahead and do this right here. Sorry, I'm trying to get adjusted. When Sarah was 127 years old, she died at Kiriath Arba, now called Hebron, in the land of Canaan. There Abraham mourned and wept for her. Then, leaving her body, he said, "The Hittite elders, here I am, a stranger and a foreigner among you. Please sell me a piece of land so I can give my wife a proper burial." The Hittites replied to Abraham, "Listen, my lord, you are an honored prince among us. Choose the finest of our tombs and bury her there. No one will refuse to help you in this way." Then Abraham bowed low before the Hittites and said, "Since you are willing to help me in this way, be so kind as to ask Ephron, son of Zohar, to let me buy his cave at Machpelah, down at the end of his field. I will pay the full price in the presence of witnesses, so that I will have a permanent burial place for my family." Ephron was sitting there among the others, and he answered Abraham as the others listened, speaking publicly before the Hittite elders of the town. "No, my lord," he said to Abraham, "please listen to me. I will give you the field and the cave. Here in the presence of my people, I give it to you. Go and bury your dead." Abraham again bowed low before the citizens of the land, and he replied to Ephron as everyone listened, "No, listen to me. I will buy it from you. Let me pay the full price for the field so I can bury my dead there." Ephron answered Abraham, "My lord, please listen to me. The land is worth 400 pieces of silver, but what is that between friends? Go ahead and bury your dead." So Abraham agreed to Ephron's price and paid the amount he had suggested. 400 pieces of silver weighed according to the market standard. The Hittite elders witnessed the transaction. So Abraham bought the plot of land belonging to Ephron at Machpelah, near Mamre. This included the field itself, the cave that it was in, and all of the surrounding trees. It was transferred to Abraham as his permanent possession in the presence of the Hittite elders at the city gate. Then Abraham buried his wife Sarah there in Canaan, in the cave of Machpelah, near Mamre. also called Hebron. So the field and the cave were transferred from the Hittite, or Hit. I say it so much that I can't say it. Hittites to Abraham for use as a permanent burial place. So, that was 23, or 20, yeah. But to like kind of clear it up, because in the Old Testament they get really wild with what they do. Like there's a lot of interesting, strange acts by the Lord and acts by evil. So this is why did God ask Abraham to sacrifice his son? God hates human sacrifice, and we know that God didn't want Isaac to die. Instead, this was a chance for Abraham to remember he loved God more than he loved his long-awaited son. Sometimes the other things we love, even when they're good, can distract us from following God. Through this difficult experience, Abraham clarified his priorities, strengthened his commitment to God, and learned about God's ability to provide. So, one thing that really prevented me from understanding and liking a lot of the Bible was how it used family as an example. But I do think that if you look more into it, it isn't as much about family as it is. I'm trying to think of a way to put this. It isn't as much about family as it is like other stuff. At the time, family was one of the most important things you could have, and it still should be. But I think there's just a lot more temptation now, and family back then was more of a lineage thing than it was family. So, but I'm gonna end that for here. Thank you for watching. Bye. Well, actually, I'm gonna close this, and then I'm gonna say thank you for watching. I will see you hopefully soon, and maybe I'll do another one.